Good morning, pregame crew. How are you doing? It is Tuesday, August 22nd, 2023, 6:23 a.m. Mountain Time, 8:23 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to the pregame show. This is a show where I officially get started in 7 minutes. I jump on early to warm up my TA muscles, do a roll call, do an AV check. Check. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you for all those hearts. I appreciate it. Whoops. Good morning, Tom, Rob, Marvin. I'm so glad y'all got good news. That is just awesome. Makes my morning. Hey, Sam, Greg, Topher. Hey, Fernando, SGN, Jahan, Card Lady, Geo Guitar, Homebody, Chris, Derek, Hector, Mike, Tess, Nick, Behawk, Bask. Hey, Sam, Jody, Andrew, Greg, Al, Alnick, good morning. You're welcome. This is my pleasure. Yep, market is looking bullish. Not making any predictions. It's just we are hourly overbought in a daily downtrend. This is typically where we go top fishing. So today's day is for aggressive bears are looking to top fish daily lower highs, and conservative bulls are looking to bottom fish hourly higher lows on a lot of charts. So bears are going for that daily lower high. So context, aggressive and conservative. Every morning we come in, we can either be an aggressive bull or bear, conservative bull or bear, and the setup tells us who has the better odds of coming out as victor. And so aggressive bears have the upper hand today and conservative bulls. So you want to be patient where we are if you're a bull and you've missed this move. Okay. Yeah, I think Riot is ready for a bounce, but what I think and what the market does are two different things. So I cannot force my will on the market. So Riot is definitely beat up. Daily RSI is 25. 4-hour RSI is 22. However, it needs Bitcoin to bounce. It needs a little cooperation from Mama Bitcoin. We are in this 4-hour sideways pattern. 8 EMA overhead, hourly EQ. How this resolves will likely impact Riot. So I do like Riot long, but we need Bitcoin to do something. You know that man with that stick? I've seen it on Twitter where it's just like, come on, do something. Like I'm tapping on the screen. Do something, Bitcoin. RTY, just to confirm the 12-hour trend. I looked at it about an hour and a half ago. It had not. It was testing 4-hour resistance. Okay, yeah, it got over it by 90 cents. I would still consider this a double top at the moment. We need a little more convincing break. But technically it is a bull break. I'm sure me gulping water does not sound good in your ear. My apologies. Hey, Tammy girl. Hey, Whitney. Slow Devil Justin. Of course they know something. Well, NVDA, it was the beach ball, y'all. And I feel very remiss for not using the term beach ball on NVIDIA and Tesla yesterday. They were perfect beach ball concepts. And the beach ball, think about trying to shove a beach ball underneath the water, and you try and your muscles get tired, and then it pops. And when it pops, it really pops. And that's what happened with NVIDIA yesterday. It got a ton of upgrades, Godfather of AI, whatever else headlines it got. And it, as my grandma would say, it put a hurtin' on those bears yesterday. It put a hurtin' on them for sure. Super bullish. RSI is 80, almost 83 on the hourly chart. We know that this sometimes means it's extended, but we got earnings this week. So we got some hungry hippos. They're up here testing the all-time high of 480.88. And if you don't have a position in NVIDIA, I would say you're looking for back burner. You're looking for the first 5 and 15 minute oversold. You're welcome, Richard. When anyone does this sweet emoji, which I appreciate it right there, the goat. I just laughed to myself because that is so Charting Man Dan. He is the goat. I'm the goat wannabe. But that's okay because I was trained by him and I've probably gotten more mentoring from him than anyone. So I call myself blessed and fortunate. Ross has a daily squeeze. Hourly squeeze. 30-minute squeeze. Yeah, success. How long do you search for these charts? You find the best charts. I would love to know what your scanner is, just to kind of show you what I do. This is what I did this morning. Let me copy and paste my toss scan from the other screen. I don't have everything, my account number hidden, so I need to screenshot it. So I look for stacked EMAs, yes, squeeze is misspelled, price at the 21 EMA, and optional. So I'm looking for names that are optionable, that have weekly options, and that have all of my criteria. And if you want to screenshot that. So, and then I dig through these charts. So I dug through these charts this morning looking for it. Ross did not pull up. It may not have weekly options. The daily squeeze, oh, it's not at the 21 EMA. I'm looking for names that are pulling back. Oh, Tesla was good to you? Yeah, Nia looks great. Neo looks wonderful. We have Hang Seng that's up overnight. It's 6:29. We'll get started here in just a second. Hang Seng was up 0.95%. DAX is up 1.24%. Before I look at Baidu had earnings and they are up over 4.5%. So we have a couple of tailwinds for the Chinese names. We are stuck below the daily 50 MA. Looks like we're going to open up above it. Your next resistance is $12 and $12.41. It looks great. Gap rules apply. And what I mean is your gap 1117 is bulls are looking for a pullback buy. And if we're able to hold the low, the high of yesterday, and bears are unable to penetrate yesterday's range within the first 30 minutes, that's a long signal to look for a long. You can always wait for tightening patterns for entry as well. If you want to take a nap while I'm talking, please feel free. It is your prerogative. FSLY, and I know y'all want to look at Baba too. Daily inside bar, any name that's a daily inside bar, that means it's relatively weak when the market had such a strong day. I do like this 4-hour squeeze. This one's kind of a mess. I'd play the daily inside bar. So right now we're opening smack dab in the middle of yesterday's range. I can't do a lot with that. Alrighty. You know, Fat N, I can't say no to you. Baba fills the gap down here at 83.95. Not saying that it will. We're green, getting a little bull push off of Asia market bullishness. And then we have yesterday's high, 88.82. Gap rules on Baba. If we're unable to fill that gap early on, that is a bullish signal. If we are able to fill the gap, that is a bearish signal. All right, let's get started. Good morning. Welcome to the pregame show. This is who I am, not that chart. This is me right here. Chart Gal Lori. I'm part of the Chart Guys community, and we teach technical analysis. We teach price action, how to read price action and get context. I don't say that word as much as Lamont says that word, or Joey. I think it's a very important word. And what is context? If you want to give me a follow on Twitter, that'd be lovely. Let's go back here. Text. Let's do it here. What is context? The circumstances that form the setting for an event, statement, or idea in terms of which it can be fully understood and assessed. And I started drawing this morning and I ran out of time. But here, so we have the market, we have the dollar, We have Bitcoin. We have Apple. We have foreign markets like Hang Seng, DAX. All of these different correlations and factors provide context for the market and the chart that we're trading. And we always need to understand in which market are we sitting today? What are the driving factors? And every day I will change the factor based on what is going on and what do I see moving the market. Oil I've added back in the last 2 months. I'm not saying the dollar's not important, but I'm just saying sometimes it's just not as relevant and I just take it off my watch list. But we're constantly looking for context. Dollar has provided a lot of context. It has had major strength and now it has this 12-hour rising wedge. These tiny higher highs are not getting a ton of follow through. We broke this 103.57 over here. Last week we hit 103.68 and that has marked a temporary top in the dollar and a temporary bottom in the market. This dollar weakness with this hourly downtrend has really given the market a little push. We just got a higher high overnight. We need to form a higher low to change that trend. But we need dollar weakness to remain for the market to remain bullish. We went over the dollar. US 10-year. US 10-year also has a 12-hour rising wedge. These tiny higher highs without a lot of follow through. Market bulls want to see this roll over. And we do have an hourly downtrend on US 10-year. We want to see some weakness there because like I said yesterday, if we can get 4.5%, 4.3%, whatever in the US 10-year, or in 4-week treasury notes or 8-week or 17-week, why would we put money in the stock market? That's why they are inverse correlation. ES. What the heck happened yesterday? If we look at SPY and we look at the 5-minute, we had a nice open and we came down. We made a new low and then we bounced. Why? Why did we bounce yesterday where we bounced? And again, this is me figuring out context. What was the high of Friday? 359.41. That was the high. What was the low of yesterday? 359.15. We were barely able to penetrate Friday's range when the bears had this pullback. And I want to show you something. At 9:07, I believe, a.m. Mountain Time, so it's 11:07 a.m. Eastern Time, I posted QQQ has huge gamma support right here, meaning a big options block. And this is from Black Box Stocks, this picture. And I posted the picture in our chat room saying, hey, we've got a lot of gamma support here. And that was right at the time of the European close, right there. How many times do we talk about European close marking the time for a reversal? So why did we bounce where we bounced on SPY? Because QQQ was able to hold the high of Friday and bounce. The European close, we had gamma support and Tesla. I posted yesterday, Tesla has an options buyer. So Tesla has this options buyer that keeps showing up on Mondays the last couple of weeks. 2 years ago it happened where we had a gamma squeeze buyer on Mondays. What does gamma squeeze mean? That's when options buyer will select a strike higher, and yesterday they were going higher than price. They did 225, 230, 240. They kept trying to drive up price because when you buy out of the money options, the option seller has to buy the underlying to hedge the position. So then that buying pressure creates a gamma squeeze, and that's what happened yesterday on Tesla. So this is where I posted, hey, Tesla has gamma support right here. Do I look at gamma support every day on every chart? Heck no, I ain't got that many eyes, but it helped me yesterday. Hey, and I posted this at 9:26, that's 11:26 Eastern, right at the time of European close. Tesla found a bottom, QQQ found a bottom, and boom goes the dynamite. So I wanted to show y'all QQQ. Now let me turn on Orb. I've talked to y'all about opening range breakout trades. Opening range breakout or breakdown trades, Orb is what it's affectionately called. Those are great trade setups because they're clear. I like when things are clear. When it's ambiguous, like the market is extended. What does that mean? How do I trade extended? I don't know how to trade extended. I know how to trade orb. I know how to trade stair step. I know how to trade tightening patterns and equilibrium. So we have to have structure and clear rules around what our strategies are. So for orb, it says mark off, and I use 15-minute, the first low of the 15-minute bar and the high of the 15-minute bar. And once you have a break out of that level, when you get that retest, that is an opportunity to go long. And that would have served you well on Tesla yesterday, the orb strategy. So I'm showing you 2 strategies yesterday that would have helped you all day. Tesla orb or QQQ gap rules. So Tesla right here, we were unable to re-enter yesterday's range with meaning, and then we were able to bounce out of it. We broke it by 26 cents and then bounce. All right, back to ES. Oh, yeah, make me laugh. Okay, so we have a 4-hour uptrend. We have an hourly uptrend on ES. We are looking for a daily low or high. If we take the high of August 15th to the low of Friday, August 18th, a 65% retrace would be around 4459. That is the area where I would become interested in a top fish. So the day, I know I get repetitive and I just don't know how to change it, y'all, because it works for me and that's how I learn. And so if it's aggravating to you, I apologize. Today's day is for aggressive bears looking for the daily low or high. If you want to be a bull in this market, the conservative bull, you could bottom fish an hourly high or low. So you're looking for an extension up to short or a pullback buy. That's the 2 plays for today. Now, let me show you our proprietary indicator Trade Keeper. This is an indicator that I came up with last year. And basically, it is a derivative of ATR, Bollinger Bands, Keltner channels, and EMA. It combines all 4 of those strategies and says this name is likely to stay in this trend. And if a dot above means that it's a short, a dot below means it's a long. If it's purple or yellow, those are just caution. Hey, the trend could change. Where's the last buy green dot we had? That was back in July, right before we made that low, right here. That was the last green dot. We've been on a steady sell signal since then, since July 27th. Well, voila. Midnight last night, we printed our first green dot on the Trade Keeper. And I showed this to y'all. I showed y'all in the room, I believe, maybe on pregame, maybe midday, I forget, about this Trade Keeper saying, hey, it's time to go short and it's time to stay short. And I toggle on Trade Keeper for sell signals. I don't look for buy signals. So if I'm looking for proper exits, I turn on Trade Keeper, but I don't necessarily singularly use it for an entry signal. I do like that we printed a buy signal on Trade Keeper, which tells me you're more comfortable buying bull than you are shorting, but you got to wait for a pullback. We look at the table that I come up with every day. Yesterday, we were over 100 points and I said, it's not quite time for back burner. Well, it's time for back burner now. There are 300 of you and only 102 likes. Hitting the like button is free. Thanks, Josh. I appreciate it. You're a great listener. Thank you. All right, so we are more bullish than bearish. Bitcoin is still neutral. I would love for Bitcoin to have a bull break to feel more confident in my bull trades. However, I don't need it into itself for me to look bullishly. Yesterday, I told y'all pre-market that Tesla and Nvidia were the way to go for longs, and man, were they the way to go. All right, so did I say everything on what is it? Orb strategy? Yes, I'm sorry, y'all. I got to go look at my notes. I have notes off screen and I copy and paste those for TCG members only. Okay, I have some more strategy education stuff, but I think I'm going to stay with the charts for now. If I have time at the end, I'll do it. Okay, so on ES, we're looking for pullback buys, which means you wait for 5 and 15-minute oversold conditions during regular trading hours for potential longs. So you are in back burner mode. And yesterday was hard. I don't mean to oversimplify things and play Monday morning quarterback, in this case, Tuesday morning quarterback, where I'm saying you could have done this and you could have done that. No, that's not how it works. I will say yesterday's morning read was tough. It was really tough. The only thing that got me more confident about the bull bounce was that QQQ holding the high of Friday. That was my clue. But yesterday was really hard. That was a pretty big reversal. So if you're a newer trader and you missed that, that's perfectly, you can explain that. That's easy to miss. All right. NASDAQ, we are looking for a daily lower high. By the way, we have our weekly higher lows most likely put in on those 4-hour trend changes. Those weekly higher lows that we've been looking for since Jesus was a baby, those got put in yesterday. So now, do we make a higher low? We've made room. Look at NASDAQ from the high of August 15th to the low of last Friday. We've already retraced about 70% of that move. We have plenty of room for a daily higher low on a pullback. And a daily lower high is still the more likely scenario. So will we get that at the daily 50 MA? Will we push up into that area before we pull back? Don't know. We have NVIDIA earnings tomorrow after hours, and that will most likely, yes, it will impact the market. SGN, I use Trade Keeper on every time frame, but I really do like 4-hour. I do like 4-hour for swings. IRA, yes, that level is important. That's the area where you could anticipate change. So on the 4-hour, if we were to turn on the Trade Keeper, and you can get the indicator on our website, chartguys.com. So here, 4383 is where the dot is printing. That's where we would see a change in tone right there. Sorry, I have the magnet on, so it never works right. But that's where you would see a change in tone. So yes, where the dot prints is important. So it's printing below price. That's a buy signal. And it's printing down here right now around 43.83. And that's the level where it would change tone and we'd most likely get a sell dot if we were to break that. So it's saying as long as you stay above 43.83, you're in an uptrend. All right. NASDAQ is super strong. That's going to be where you're going to look for longs. RTY, I'm still considering this a double top. It broke the bull 4-hour high by 90 cents. That's not really a bull break. Now let's do, in contrast, let's do the fib on this one, which really, we don't have a clear pivot. Y'all see how this is still a daily bear flag? It is weak. It's trapped below the daily 50 MA. So IWM is weak. Market bulls really want IWM, XLF, and XLV, and Bitcoin to join this party. I woke up thirsty, it seems. Okay. So RTY is weak. YM is weak. What are we forming, y'all, on YM? Do y'all see it? We're getting a diamond bullish reversal pattern on YM. It's unconfirmed at this point, so it's a potential for a diamond bullish reversal pattern. But it's possible. We'll see how this 4-hour EQ resolves on the right side to give us more clues. Is this a bullish reversal pattern? Oh, good, Ira. Is it Arya? It's a beautiful name. Yeah, I use Trade Keeper for day trades. I use it as little as, and I'm embarrassed to say this because don't think this is one of my finer moments, but I even use it on the 15-second on Trade Keeper. If I'm doing an ES scalp, I'll even use it on the 15-second, 1 minute. It just depends on what type of trade I'm in. But I will tell you to shift odds in your favor. The higher time frame chart you look to for guidance will be the higher the time frame, the better. And again, I toggle it on and off because for me, it gets a little cluttered. If I have it on all the time, I like to toggle it on once I'm in a trade. But I think a 2-minute is a great time frame for day trading. Okay, we did all that. We said the dollar. Oh, there the dollar goes. There she blows. Gold bulls had a wonderful bounce overnight. Let's see, they're probably crumbling. Yep. They're giving a little bit back here on the hourly chart because of dollar strength. And I've been watching this daily downtrend on gold for a while now. And I told y'all yesterday I was long. And I almost got stopped out. I didn't. And I still am not super convinced. We got over these 4-hour EMAs that have been resistant since the last week of July. We finally got over that. So I like a pullback buy in the dollar, looking for that weekly high to stick in the dollar, assuming that it won't go any higher. But that's a big assumption considering how strong the dollar has been. Okay. Oil, our daily lower high is set. So now I shift to long mode. I'm looking for a long in oil, looking for the daily higher low. We don't necessarily have a guarantee of a higher low. I'm looking for one because I love this weekly potential bull flag. 4-hour, we have enough room for a 4-hour higher low here on oil. I'm looking for that to be put in before 79.02. I just grabbed a position around 79.90, and I will add one more position down to $79. Below $79, I am wrong. And I'm just going to stop and I'm going to copy and paste this. I had this typed out for y'all. I wanted to go over. I don't know exactly how I'm going to have time to go over this in detail, but I think it's worth it to at least type it out. Here are just some steps in the trading process. These are just some of the steps, not all. This is not an all-inclusive list. Here's some of the steps. You scan for names to trade. You set alerts. You don't always have to use alerts or scans, but those are just some of the steps in the process that I use. Stock selection. Oh, there's just not enough things said about stock selection. What you choose to trade. FSLY could rip faces off today. I don't know that it will or it won't. Someone just asked me about it. I like the 4-hour squeeze, but on the hourly chart, this is a mess. This is a mess for me and the way I trade. I can't take a trade off of this. I can't. You probably can, and you're probably going to kill it. I love the 4-hour squeeze, but where it is on the hourly chart, I don't have direction. Therefore, I can't trade it. Oil, I have direction. I'm looking for a daily higher low. I'm looking for a 4-hour higher low. And therefore, I'm looking for a weekly higher low in the bull flag. So I'm looking long. So I have my process and I know what I'm trading because I can read it. I have confluence of signals. When you don't have a confluence of signals, what are you trading? And then identify where you will be wrong first. Where am I wrong on oil? 70? Ugh. I know y'all have to laugh every time I do it because I'm just so consistently dumb about it. I am wrong at $79. I am wrong there. And I need to know where I will be wrong first. Because that's how I protect. Risk management is number one job, numero uno. Calculate the risk to reward. Fight for price and location. Fight, fight, fight. Size appropriately. Size up when you see an A+ setup. Scale out into profits. Scale out at natural targets before next resistance for a long or next support for a short. At fibs, etc. Play out or stop out. Journal, report card, journal, 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 journal. Know thyself, know thy instrument. If you don't know what you're trading and how you're doing and just really finessing the finer details, how are you going to get better? How are you going to get better? What if I'm trying to think of a word that doesn't involve a curse word. What if you half-arsed your job at work the way that you have been doing in trading? You'd probably get fired, huh? Well, maybe you need to get fired at trading and say, this trader is no longer going to trade for me. I'm going to hire a better one and make yourself better. You can't half-arse this. You will get your blank handed to you. I like the FAFO, School of Hard Knocks. You're going to F around and find out. And that's exactly what stocks will do to you. Options, futures. You're going to FAFO. You're just going to fool around and you're going to find out, because in trading, you need to be surgical, tactical, and very detail oriented. I am being very informal today. I need to button things up over here, huh? Okay, so on oil, I'm long. I think I covered that. Ugh. Exactly, short bus. Short bus. If I could give you a gold star, I would. I don't know how can I like that? I don't know. When I don't have any confluence of signals, I'm just trading my bias. Exactly. And it's deleting arse. It's deleting arse. Sorry, Nightbot doesn't like it, but I don't know what analogy I used, Jay, but if it worked, it worked. Okay, nat gas, I still don't have a trade set up for it, and I'm not going to force one. I would say you have a 4-hour inverse head and shoulders here forming, so maybe you could get some bullishness out of this. Looking for a weekly high or low, I personally won't be trading it. I do need to drop a quarter in the swear drawer. All right, so I like metals long. The dollar needs to sit down, but I do still like metals long and oil long. Apple. How are these gap rules treating you? Since I have made a focus on them, I feel like it's helping my trading, and I hope it's helping yours as well. Yesterday's low, yesterday's high. If the bears are able to penetrate yesterday's range, that is a bearish signal. If they are unable to penetrate yesterday's range, that is a long signal. Get it, got it good? We can make it up to 177.10. That'd be daily 8 EMA. We're still looking for a daily lower high. Bears have the upper hand on larger time frames, okay? But bulls are looking for pullback buys. Are you hot tub? You hot tub texting, Jay? All right, so Amazon, yesterday's high, 134. Nope, that was the day before that. Why did it not save? I thought I moved it up. Okay, my bad. $135.19. Okay, that's right. All right. So Amazon, we're gapping up above yesterday's high. If bears are unable to penetrate yesterday's range, that is a long signal. Nvidia, new all-time high. Oh my God. And let me tell you something that I had a friend tell me about 3 years into trading, and I guess it's my fault because I was too blonde to pick up on it. But she said, when you close this strong and you're closing up near the high of day, and look at this on an 8% push, you swing that crap, at least a part of it, because the odds that you gap up the next day after your first really big bull run, it's high. It's a very high probability you're going to gap up. Tesla, you close near the high of day, there is a high probability you're going to gap up. And that is some really sage advice. Nvidia, there's going to be bears trying to short this, and the more that they get pinched, the more it's going to serve the bulls. And by pinched, I mean if their stop is at 480, they all had to cover right then. And if their stops aren't triggering in after hours when the market opens, it'll trigger and you could get a push up. They have to cover. They can't let this go against them. Now, if you are, I've said this a couple times. I said it yesterday about their CEO and CFO and earnings and Nvidia. If you're a hedge fund manager and you don't have Nvidia as part of your fund, how can you look your boss in the eye? And that's what's happening, y'all. They are buying hand over fist saying, oh, Lordy, I don't want to talk to the boss and explain to him that I did not get any piece of this action. They had guided $7 billion for this third quarter initially. And at the end of first quarter earnings, they then said, wait, it's going to be up at around $11 billion. So they almost doubled their guidance. They know. So if they beat and guide higher again, Ish. Okay. What else did I want to say about that? Back burners on watch. Back burners are your friend. NVIDIA, first 5 minute oversold. I'd be all over that like white on rice. Okay, NVIDIA, back burner. Tesla, back burner. Gap rules in play. CCJ, back burner. Gap rules in play. Pan W is a back burner watch. We had earnings Friday, big beat. They went kind of sideways yesterday after a big gap up and a 15% move. I like Pan W for a back burner watch during regular trading hours. Google decided to close the day yesterday with an inside bar. I'm looking for a Google bull laggard trade. So Google was a laggard yesterday on tech. I'm looking for a pullback buy. Yesterday's high, 128.73. If that can hold, I like that for a long. PLTR, I'm looking for it to be an AI laggard. And Dan made a great point on last night's video that if he doesn't find a trade at open, he just waits to the middle of the morning and then he looks for these tightening patterns. You see that? It actually looks better. Yeah, look at this EQ. And you can find these EQs. I post them in chat a lot, mid-morning. And then you can look to play the break. Look at this 50 RSI hold. Look at this squeeze, y'all. Do you see it? You position yourself long in these with RSI over 50 in an EQ. The preceding trend was up. You position yourself long and you put your stop below 30.85. Simple rules. PLTR, I'm looking for, it did not follow AI yesterday. It's still going sideways with a little bit of a squeeze. So I'm looking for a long on PLTR. We're gapping up by 1 penny at the moment. If we can hold yesterday's high and then turn and burn, that could be a potential long. Market's pulling back just a little bit more here. It's 6:59. I need to shut my trap. We have data at 10 a.m. We have API estimates after hours at 4:30 Eastern for oil. And I don't know what happened with ETHE. That's a premium issue, and that's just too much information. That's non-technical information that I can't look up here. Potential daily bear flag on SoFi. It's gapping up, gap rules in play. And I do like TAN. Let me go to my notes. I like TAN Riot for longs, and I like AVGO for a long. And AVGO, I'm going to finish, I promise. TCGers, if y'all need to go listen to Dan, I don't blame y'all. Y'all can go ahead. So we had a base here. We had a base. We fell out of that base. And now 373.37 is your resistance. We're gapping up above that. I like a pullback buy on AVGO around 873, and that may play out at the end of this week, but that's something to watch for. All right, now I'm done. Love you all, you stop losses. Let's do it.